Hi, this is Momo. Welcome to today's short episode of Round the Fire with Momo. Today, I'm going to talk about the best way to protect your Nostr private key. Your Nostr private key, also known as your NSEC, must always stay secret. Anyone who gets access to it can post and make changes on your behalf. It's like handing them full control of your identity. Your public key, on the other hand, is safe to share. Others can use it to follow you or contact you. If you're familiar with Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general, you probably understand how private keys work. Your private key is generated from your 12 seed words, and using those words on any compatible app, be it Sparrow, Electrum, or Blue Wallet, always gives you the same public key. Unlike traditional services that use usernames and passwords that you choose, for example, your email, Bitcoin and Nostr use keepers, a public key and a private key. But if I want to be honest with you, there's really just one key, and that's your private key. Everything else is generated from that. You do not choose your private key. You outsource its creation to chaos and randomness. Then your public key is mathematically and deterministically derived from it. In summary, you can't change your private key like a password because it's unique. You can't reset it if you lose it because there's no one in the chaos or randomness customer support to call. And there's only one public key tied to one private key forever. So if someone gets your private key, your identity is compromised permanently. Let me paint a scary picture. If you paste your private key into one malicious app or website, now someone co owns your digital soul. And that's where signer apps come into the picture to actually prevent this. And I'll explain how they help in a minute. In the Bitcoin world, we have hardware wallets. These devices keep your private keys offline. When you want to send Bitcoin, you create the transaction on your online device, then pass it to the hardware wallet to sign. Then the signed transaction, not the private key, goes back to the online device and gets broadcasted. Here's a small detail worth clarifying at the risk of complicating things a bit. If you're not ready, cover your ears. Now I'll clap once it's over. A digital signature in cryptography is not like a handwritten one. It's unique for every transaction. Change even one small detail, and the signature will look completely different. Unlike when you go to the bank and you always use the same signature to sign any kind of document or paper. Nobody, not a person, not a machine, at least in our era, can forge that signature without the private key. But once that signature is created, any computer can verify its validity instantly. Think of it like a lock and a key maker. It takes skill and equipment to make a key. This whole combination of the person and the equipment is in fact your private key. But once they produce a key, anyone can check in a matter of seconds to see if that key works or not. You simply put the key into the keyhole. If it unlocks, it's the right key. Okay, you can uncover your ears now. Now back to Nostr. In theory, we could use hardware wallets to store our Nostr private keys and sign each node offline. I even once made one using ESP32. It's quick and easy. Maybe one day I make a tutorial about it too. But here's the problem. While you might send one Bitcoin transaction per week, month, or per year, with Nostr, you might need to sign multiple events in a single minute. So using a hardware device to sign every Nostr action isn't practical, at least yet. Or at least I do not know of a very practical way to do that. Maybe there exists. If you know, let me know. Instead, we can minimize the number of apps that see our private key by using signer apps. You can enter your private key once into a secure and trusted app or extension, and then log into as many websites as you want without revealing your key again, or even without revealing it to those websites. Here are some signer tools you can use: Nostr and aka profiles for browser, Amber for Android, Aegis for iOS, Nostash for iOS and macOS. These apps act like gatekeepers. They sign messages for you, but never share your private key with the apps or websites you're using. In this way, you minimize sharing your private key with other entities or apps. Now that you know why your Nostr private key is so important, what Nostr apps are, and how they protect your identity while making your life easier, stay tuned for my next video tutorials where I'll show you exactly how to use these signer apps step by step. I hope you found this quick tutorial helpful. If you did, give it a like and hit the subscribe button to support more content like this. If you got questions, feedback, or something to add, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. All the relevant links, including how to follow and support me, are in the link tree in the description. And if you'd like to show some love, feel free to buy me a coffee or send a few sats my way. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your digital identity safe.